everyone, it's me, Yaz from Yorkshire Peaches Therapies. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the Photizo and how we can use photobiomodulation to support a disease known as IVDD, also known as intervertebral disc disease, which can affect any discs in the spine. To do that, I'm going to need a sidekick. Here comes Rodney. Enters stage left. Rodney investigates the Photizo and he wants to show you how we can support the body's natural healing mechanisms using Photizo. We can also look to promote circulation and, most importantly, target inflammation. Let's get to it. So I've just got myself set on the mat with Rodney, mapped out his spine and ready to get going. So the first place I'm going to start is just in between the shoulder blades. Now you're not going to be able to feel the vertebrae in there, but they're still there, so it's important to give them a little loving. So I'm going to start with 3 doses into that area. So instead of holding the Photizo lengthways down the spine, I'm going to hold it widthways and apply 3 doses going all the way down the back. Now, notice Rodney isn't tethered or anything like that. He can opt in and out as he pleases. So that's really important that we're giving our dogs a choice of whether or not they want to partake in treatment. But Rodney is really well fared with the Photizo. But it can just help just to give him a little tickle, give him a little bit of support whilst you are working in a particular area. So because the Photizo enters into the body as like a cone beam, it's not just the particular area that it's having the direct treatment into it's going to be having an effect on, it's the rest of the body. So just can't help myself, being a canine massage therapist, I want to be massaging. So I just gently support the rest of the body where I feel like he might need it. Look at his little face, bless him. So with a dog that has IVDD, we have to be mindful that they are going to be incredibly sensitive and potentially painful around the spine. So we don't want to be pushing the Photizo in. I mean, we shouldn't be pushing the Photizo into anything bony, but just be really mindful of your pressure that you are putting into that particular area. So you'll see me throughout this video applying just gently the pads of my finger down either side of the spine, and that's to stimulate a muscle called the longissimus. It's worth mentioning that if your dog does have IVDD, that this isn't done in the area where the herniation has occurred, just because we don't want to cause any further damage. So please speak with your vet and or therapist for guidance on supporting this muscle. So if you found this video, you probably already know about IVDD. It is one of the most common spinal diseases in dogs, and sometimes it can occur in cats. So basically IVDD is when we have a disc herniation. So if we look at the spine, it's made up of vertebrae, so they are your building blocks, and in between those building blocks you have your discs, and those are your shock absorbers. Now when we have degeneration in those discs, it can reduce its shock absorbing capabilities, and that's what can lead to that squidgy disc herniating and putting pressure onto the spinal cord, and that's where you get your symptoms of IVDD. So that can be anything from complete paralysis to your dog walking like it's a little bit drunk on its back end, loss of bladder function, or incredible pain in a particular area. Now, research is changing and updating all of the time, But the lower grades can be potentially managed with conservative treatment, so that's without surgical intervention. However, if your dog does have complete paralysis or loss of bladder function, surgery is really going to be your only option as a starting point for their treatment. So just now I'm applying some Photizo into the base of Rodney's tail. We have to remember that the tail is an extension of the spine, and if we have a condition like IVDD, the tail can be relied upon to help with balance, or potentially if your dog has become paralysed, we have loss of function in the tail. So it's really important that, you know, we're making sure that we're looking after it. If, you know, we have a dog that's IVDD, that's had surgery or not, just give the tail a little bit of Photizo love. Just keeps everything as happy as it can be. Nice little face scratch, thanks Rod. Little quick kiss. And he's like, I think I want to be over here, Mum. So, so this is the thing, like when you're working with animals, they're never going to sit. Rodney had answered his pants that day, but he was still allowing me to Photizo him. It's all about that consent-based treatment. Goes, he's having a little think. Do you know what? I'll have a little dose of Photizo. I can't believe you completely binned me off and I'm filming this video. Sorry, he'll come back in a minute. He's like, not sure. Oh, big stretch. And he's back again. Sorry, we'll resume in a minute. I mean, I was trying to sit ladylike because I decided to film in a dress, and Rodney was like, nah, actually, Mum, I want you to sit how you normally sit when you do Photizo work. So when we are working down the spine, remember you will be inadvertently interacting with acupressure points. So for whatever reason, Rodney was feeling a little bit hypersensitive in those areas in his back, and it was like lumbar region, so his lower back, that he was like, I'm not ready for a full dose, so I'm just hovering. So as we've gone down the spine, we've done 3 doses, 3 doses, 3 doses, all the way down to bathing the tail in the Photizo light. Then I hold it lengthways instead of widthways, and I bathe down the areas. Again, just giving him that support, checking in with him, making sure he's okay, and just gently moving that fascia around his lower back and just bathing the areas. And again, I'm going to try bathe the tail. Dogs aren't massively keen, in my experience, with direct contact with the Photizo on the tail. We have to remember the tail is used for communication. So we want to make sure that it's able to freely move, and that communication isn't hindered by the Photizo bit on it. Again, go by what your dog is telling you, be guided by your dog. They could be absolutely fine with it, but Rodney is not massively keen on it. Now, looking at the breeds that are most commonly affected by IVDD, there's the Dachshund, then we have Corgis and Basset Hounds, but that doesn't mean that other breeds can't be predisposed or can't suffer from this condition. I've seen IVDD in Frenchies, Cockapoos, Dalmatians, you know, the list goes on. But the breeds most likely to suffer with IVDD is the ones with those exaggerated features like really long back. So I'm trying to work on Rodney's neck. Now sometimes dogs can be a little bit sensitive around this area. I think it's partly to do with the fact they can't quite fully see what you're doing, but also the Photizo makes the tiniest little hum noise when it's going through the different dosage. So when it goes from a pulse beam to a continuous beam, so it does make the tiniest noise, and sometimes when it's just behind their ear they're not quite sure what to do about it. Again, Rodney's really well fed with the Photizo, but because he had ants in his pants that day I didn't want to push him, so I'm working all the way up to the base of his skull, just bathing in red light. It looks like I'm petting Rodney really vigorously. I'm not. This video is just on twice speed, so we don't have to go through the whole duration of each dosage for this IVDD. Now, another area to focus on is bathing of the paws. It is the furthest point away from the spine, so it's important that we're touching base and stimulating the cells and the nerves in that area to help promote that blood circulation and of course reduce inflammation. You just see here I'm running my fingers down either side of the spine nice and gently whilst bathing those paws, because we have to remember the paws are the foundation of your dog, so it's really important that we give them some loving. So remember, these are just guidelines. The joy with the Photizo is it's all pre-programmed for you, and be guided by your dog how much they want to engage with the Photizo. I hope this video has been of use to you. If you have liked it, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks very much.